Welcome to Bamcast, the Black Art Matters podcast, featuring Darius Colquitt.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the BAM digital platform. I am so excited to be able to hop into this interview because I need y'all to understand. The person you're about to meet is not only somebody who I have grown to know and love just as the artist and beautiful person that they are, but they are on this amazing upward trajectory that I have been watching for a while. And I don't know that I'm more proud of anybody in the world right now than I am of my good friend, who I also call my son. And I hope he'll be your friend too, Mr. Michael Davis Arnold. Michael, how are you doing?
I am just living the dream right now, working a full-time job and being an actor. That is what I'm doing. That is how I'm doing, and I'm loving it.
Literally living the dream. Like we've talked for years about what you're doing right now. And we're gonna jump into all of the stuff. But let's do this proper. Let me conduct myself in interview mode and ask you first. If someone were to ask you who you are, and to explain yourself or what you do as a person in one statement, how would you express to that person who MDA is?
Michael is a hardworking, non-stop moving train.
I will concur. Yeah. Yes, I think that's a proper description, because you, sir, have been on this nonstop train as an artist for a while now. How did you even become an artist? Where did this start for you? Let's take a jump in the way back machine, if you will, and let's talk about Lil Michael.
It started before I was born. My great-grandmother was the main artist and matriarch of the family. She wrote 3 books. She wrote plays for the church, and everybody in the family has some form of artistry that they are proud of. Some don't use it much, but they still got something from her. Me, I got theater. Theater has been the main passion of mine since I can remember. Like, I remember when my great-grandma tried to put me in modeling, I was so nervous. I cried and ran away, and that never happened again. And then I did my first play of hers at church. Ooh, I think I was 5 at the time. And I don't remember much from it, but I do remember I did have a lot of fun. And I didn't act again until high school. And even with that, the first show I did was in 10th grade because I got chickened out 9th grade and ended up doing spotlights for the Wiz.
Okay.
But really was the catalyst to saying, I want to do this for a living. I want to be an actor for a living. Junior year of high school, I did Hairspray in concert with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. And I was originally supposed to be in the choir. And while it was fun being in the choir, there was a point in like the rehearsal of the show where they were like, we need some people to be on stage and learn this choreography. And I was one of the people that was picked out of my school's choir. And I was like, okay. And we did You Can't Stop the Beat. And that was the best thing in the world. I was like seeing all those people out there, seeing the balcony, that was the first time I saw a drag queen like in the audience. And it was just like, this is what I want to do. I want to see all these people just smiling and having a wonderful time as we tell this story, as we tell a story to them and just have them enjoy it. And that is how we got here to Chicago.
Yes, and it took a while. Like you went
It
to so you went to
did.
school in Michigan. You went to
Yep.
Cornerstone, right?
Went to Cornerstone University in Michigan. Didn't do theater there until, it's kind of a circle thing. I didn't do theater there until sophomore, junior year. So like toward the end of my time there.
Wow.
The show I did there was Joseph. I missed callback, so I was like an ensemble. Then someone dropped out, and I got to be one of the brothers. And then that was the year I started focusing on vocal health because I was doing a cappella. I was doing the university chorale, and I was doing a show all at the same time. And I ended up getting laryngitis because of overuse. And so when I graduated college, my focus was just on doing warm-ups, focusing on technique and making sure that I can last long because I don't need to do over fatigue. And I've met with a multitude of vocal coaches and teachers and finally found the right one in Michigan that helped me to get to where I need to be.
Would you like to shout
I'm about to right now. I am just so thankful for Kelly Carey and her guidance because I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for her help after I did Joseph for like the umpteenth time at Circle Theater.
Now, how many times have you done Joseph?
Woo! 3 times so far. 3 times so far. I did it so when I finished my freshman year of college, I did it with this church. Then I did it at Cornerstone University my sophomore year. And then I did it again. I think it was like 2 years after graduating a year after graduating at Circle Theater. And that was the last show I did before COVID. I mean, one of the last shows I did before COVID.
Wow. You closed it out with a classic from your repertoire.
And I got to reprise one of my roles twice. And that was Judah.
Oh, so you played Judah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. If there was a brother that you would prefer to play or that you would want to play instead of Judah, now that you've done it so many times, which brother would you prefer to be?
Joseph.
And why?
Joseph? Like, what? Joseph? It's supposed to be Joseph.
Ain't no question, huh?
The reason Joseph is because I just love the journey that he goes on, being the favorite child, but then being cast aside because his brothers just like literally throw him away. And then he has to go through this journey of understanding what God really wants for him. And as someone who's a spiritual Christian myself, the journey and the songs that took him through that, such as Close Every Door and then Any Dream Will Do, those are just such powerful pieces for Joseph in his journey. And I just liked how it was reprised at the end too, just to make it a full circle, which was really nice. And that role has always been a dream role of mine. Yeah. I couldn't sing that low in the past, but I got it now.
So if y'all if y'all casting Joseph, we got your Joseph right here, okay? you heard it here first.
Or your Judah. I'll take Judah again.
Okay. He's not picky, ladies and gentlemen. He's not picky. Well, okay. All right. So you were saying that Joseph was the last show you did before the world closed.
Just stopped. Yes.
Down. So I have to ask you this because I feel like, we all went through our bout. Everybody went through their things and their, journey through that time. How did 2020 itself change you, change your artistry, change even the way that you approach art?
It made me be more conscious of the material, the videos, just the work that I put out. I'm singer first. So I just put out anything that I like and I'm like, ooh, it sounds good. All right, let's do it. And I after a while, I was like, I need to figure out what I want as an artist, who I want people to see me as. And for me, I'm still that fun loving, like I'll be loud in the room. My voice will come in the room before I do a lot of the times. But I had to figure out what I needed to refine, what I needed to work on, what I needed to focus on as an actor, singer. Oh, I'm a strong mover too. Don't get me wrong. But because I wanted to do film during that time, I wanted to focus on my acting chops. Wanted to make sure that I did a lot of scene study and script analysis, just to make sure that I'm honing it in. And I took the time to do virtual classes. I even for a moment wanted to get my MFA in acting, and attended some conferences and things like that about that. I've worked with Darius for one on some audition tapes and things like that during that time.
I've heard that guy's a hack.
You better stop. Whoever said that. And it's just allowed me to better find out who I am as a performer, that I'm just not on stage to make people smile. I'm there to tell the story, to make sure that they understand that there is more to a character than just a song that they sing, but the journey that they go through. And it took more than 2020 to figure that out, but I have finally found a way to bring characters to life, but without having to be cookie cutter, having to be just as the book. But with theater, that's why I love theater so much, is because you can have an interpretation of something that's still in the world, and makes sense for the relationships and that particular character and the journey that they go through. Having realized that, I understood that bringing myself to the table is way more important than making them saying, oh, where do I fit in this world? Because what the director wants, if you're not in that world, you're not in that world. But a lot of the times there is a place for you somewhere in that world. You just got to have that confidence in yourself, because there will always be no's. But once you get that yes, you're like, ooh, time to keep going.
Yep, that's it. That's it. And even to add to that, one of my favorite phrases, who was that? I think Lauryn Hill said it. She said, the real you is more interesting than the fake somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that.
And in that, we all get to perform within our passions, the things that drive us, the things that make us who we are as artists. And honestly, that's been one of the greatest things about watching your journey, is seeing you find all of the little things, all the little nuggets that you find along the way doing this thing. And it's funny because some of them you don't find in one show. It's going to take about a good 4 or 5 different experiences with 2 or 3 different directors and a slew of folk before you get to a real point where you're like, oh, I get it. I get it now.
Yes.
So watching you grow has been it's been everything. Y'all look, y'all better get to know him now, because if you don't, you're gonna be mad you missed him. I'm just saying. So I know we've talked a lot about the dream roles and the things that you want to like go for and like jump, If there was ever a pinnacle point in your life, in your art, in the performance world that you're in right now, like just a moment where you can be like, oh yeah, I've done it. I'm here. Where is that point? Where is that moment? How do you know that you can say, Michael's here?
Until I get there, I can't really answer that question just yet. I've had moments, even doing community theater, where I was like, oh, this is it. Oh my gosh. And then following that, I booked Rent, and I was like, oh, this is it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And now I'm in Chicago as a swing for the show called Promises, Promises, with Blank Theater Company. I still don't know yet where the pinnacle point will be, because any moment could be that moment. But there's always going to be auditions. There's always going to be roles that you do that you're like, oh, I love this role so much. But then it's like, oh, but then I love this role so much. And it's like, you don't know what your pinnacle moment is until you have it. And you can have so many moments you can think that are pinnacle, but they're not until something new comes along. And so, again, like I said, I can't answer that question until I've actually reached that moment.
Such wisdom. Such wisdom in the youth. Look at them. All right. What is one thing that you'd say, presenting yourself, presenting your artistry as the person that you are, that people have gotten wrong or have formed a misconceived notion on? I know we get into these professions and people see us and it's like they think they know us immediately. And that's not necessarily true. So what's a common thing that has appeared in your life that you just need to put to rest? It's like, no, that's not Michael.
This was me at first. I'm not gonna lie, this was me at first. I was
Okay.
the belter, the high note singer, everything. But now I'm so glad that I moved, because now I can set my own brand as a actor singer. I'll always be a singer first, but I want people to know that, Michael Davis Arnold is an actor who can sing his face off, but you will get the actor a majority of the time.
Got it. Now I have to ask you this because everybody, any artist, has thought about this at some point. Picture it, Sicily, 1940. No, I'm kidding.
No, you didn't.
I couldn't help it. It's us. So if you had to share one thing, one aspiring or inspiring thought with someone younger than you, or even your younger self, something that you wish you had heard, what would you say, being at the point that you're at now?
So it's not something I wish I had heard. It's something that helped me get to where I am. So when I did Hairspray in concert in junior year of high school, there was a panel of actors who are currently on Broadway, who just got done with Broadway. Like, they were like phenomenal performers and very nice individuals. One person said, because she had various insecurities about her voice, did auditions, and it was just not the best. And the one thing she said was, 25% of people won't like your voice. 75% of people will. And I took that and said, I'm gonna make those 25% like me. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And till this day, I still take voice lessons to make sure that my craft, all 100% of people like it.
Very good approach.
Since that day, I've just been going hard with taking voice lessons, making sure that my instrument is up to par, making sure that technique is there, making sure that I can make it with ease without making too many weird faces. But yeah, and that's the one piece of advice that I give a lot of people who are singing and feel like their voice isn't where it should be or where others are and things like that. And it's been very, very helpful and very motivating till this day to keep pushing, to find ways to use my voice healthily, but also creatively. And just testing the waters, not limiting myself to just a tenor song, just not comparing myself to people like Alex Newell, who is just phenomenal and inspiring, but just being me. Because if I'm going to make that 25% of people like me, I can't mimic someone else.
That's it. That's it. It's full circle. The real you is more interesting than the fake somebody else.
Yes.
All right. So now we've come to my favorite portion of the interview. Yes. You thought it was over. That's see. Here's the thing, everyone. So when I talked to Michael about the interview, I said, "Do you want the questions or do you not?" And he said, "I want a mix." I said, "So you want some of the questions and not all the?" And he said, "Yes." I was like, "Okay, I think I can do that." And since that's what you asked me for, yeah, congratulations. You've set yourself up for the best part of this interview. I have a few questions I'm going to ask you. They're rapid fire, very easy questions. So respond as you feel led. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is your favorite word?
Concur.
What is your least favorite word?
What's the limit on the language?
You can use another
Oh.
language.
Okay. Nigga.
That can be your least favorite word. That's fine.
Okay.
What feeds you?
My relationships.
What drains you?
People. Actually, let me say that. Social settings.
Okay. What sound or noise do you love?
Silence.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Complaining.
What is your favorite musical composition right now?
I don't have one.
What do you feel is the most overrated musical composition right now?
All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey.
All right. This is usually everyone's favorite. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I'm gonna regret this. Teaching. Actors. Teaching actors.
Okay.
Let's be specific.
What profession would you never, ever, under any circumstances, ever in life do?
So there's a job where you have to change a light bulb on something. It's very, very high. Never ever gonna do that. I don't do stationary heights.
And last but certainly not least, if heaven does exist, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I'm so glad you're here. I can take my break on judging people now.
And everybody, that's Michael Davis Arnold. I am so glad you came and spent time with us. If there's anything you want to share, talk about, promote, go talk. You can talk to the people. Go for it right now.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to say because a lot of the stuff is not announced yet. So just watch out on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. My Facebook is Michael Davis Arnold and my Instagram is music_. Uplifts 1995. So just follow me on there. I'll keep you updated on any artistry things that goes on.
All right, everybody. That's Michael. And thank you, folks, for sticking around and checking out this rendition, this amazing episode. Make sure you check in with us on BAM Digital real soon. Till then, peace.
Bye.
This has been another episode of Bamcast, the Black Art Matters podcast, offered to you exclusively through BAM Digital, a subdivision of BAM Talent. To find out more, go to our website, www.bamtalent.org.